Okay, this is another part to Whitie Town documentary. I wanted to go into a little bit further about University of Washington. Just amazes me, this place of education that I used to work at. Before someone comes and gives me a ticket. Old spaghetti factory, huh? Cooking up some spaghetti here, huh? You know, it amazes me, this place, and how they are so well and so strategically structured to block minorities from progressing, and how when I got hired there, I thought there was just so much hope, and I was a Husky, and I planned on, never leaving this place. I was gonna retire from UW, and then, what happened to me, when I think about how they treated me like a slave, and how I had to do all this catering and all this servant work, and for this little wages. I think I made like $2,000 a month. I barely could even support myself. I had to go bankrupt because, it was, I couldn't even believe I had a bachelor's degree. I couldn't get a good job. I couldn't get I wanted to be the advisor. I wanted to be the coordinator or something, and I know I was qualified, but, of course I was denied. And, kind of kept that in front of me, giving me a little hope that could possibly happen. But I know probably to this day they never hired a black advisor in the Milgard School of Business. So that was just some little false dream, and that's what they like to do, is like give you a little taste of the good life or something and then snatch it from you. I just remember thinking that I was gonna be able to have a future and just be able to buy my own house and become a homeowner and pay off my car, and just all the hopes and dreams I put into this place that were destroyed. And how my boss, Sandy Carlson, how she treated me like I was just less than human. I was just some nigger girl. And how, they didn't have any diversity training. I don't think they ever probably were around any minorities. Hardly. And they did have this one girl who was an intern, and she didn't even want the job. And I should have known then. And then the girl that I took her position, she left and went to Hawaii. I guess she got a job on USAsjobs.com. and was working for the military in Hawaii, and she bailed out of there and left. She kind of sent off some messages and let me know it wasn't all that hunky-dory there. And it was that Patricia and Sandy who were running it, and they were real close, if you know what I mean. And then it was Melody and this other lady, but I can't remember her name. She had red hair. And they were the advisors, and then there was this other lady, I can't remember her name, but she had a German mom who was in a nursing home. And there was like 3 advisors, and at that time they didn't have a dean. They just changed it over to dean because the titles were different. And that's when Patricia was retiring, and then the new dean, I can't remember his name, some guy from India got the job. I think I was on the interview panel for that. I kind of recall. So, you know, I just, you know, remember just happened to sit in this little space when you walk in, and it was just this little desk, and it was so degrading for me, and I thought to myself, am I ever going to get away from the front desk, from this receptionist job that for life, you know? And I thought when I went to school that I was going to have an opportunity to progress, but, you know, you don't, not around here. So I was thankful, at least it was a state job. I hope there was some opportunities for advancement, but I could see there weren't a lot. There was a lot of opportunities to be discriminated against. That's what I found. And then I had this lady I was working with who was the coordinator, and she got the job actually I should have gotten. And I don't even think she had a college degree, but I can't remember. But they hired her to she was kind of like, you know, bossing me around. She wasn't really my supervisor, but she had a lot of control in the office, and I helped hire her. She just turned on me, and she had a husband that worked in the city of Lakewood, and she used to brag, and she was so rich. She lived in Federal Way, and she was just rude and prejudiced and snooty, and just gave me a hard time. And I remember just thinking, oh, I cannot put up with this woman. I just know I can't. And just being harassed. And I remember her leaving this note on my desk, and the cookie once, and put killer cookie on there. And I was just, you know, I felt threatened, because I was not going to want to accept no cookie from a woman who was like a psychopath, and who was, you know, discriminating against me and giving me a hard time, making me, you know, have to quit my job and stuff. And, you know, I was thinking, what the hell did she put in this thing? Some poison or something? And it was just, I just had enough. She was just, that day, it was just so much built up. And I called my boss and told her, she was on, I remember it was like Christmas vacation. And I reported her and told her, look, you know, no, I'm getting tired of this, and this is what's going on. And she was just so offended that I even called her. And even though she gave me the number and told me if there was any problems to call her. And I was thinking, yeah, of course you're, you know, offended, because you're protecting her and defending her. And, of course, I'm not going to get anyone to support me. And it was just this big ordeal. And then I just wanted to just leave. And then they sent me on home assignment, and I had to work from home for months. And I just couldn't, there was nothing for me to do. And they said, well, you know, sign in to the computer, and we'll send you work or whatever. But they never sent me anything. I think one time she called me about a question about the minutes, and that was it. I mean, I didn't have anything to do, and I just was getting paid 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. And I couldn't believe I never in my life experienced a job that would put you on a home assignment just to keep you out of the place. And it hurt so bad, because I felt like I was being blocked, prevented from opportunities. It still hurts to this day. They pushed me out. And after that, after being at home on home assignment, I just knew there was no way I could come back to that kind of hostile work environment. The person who should have been on home assignment was her. But of course they do the minority, you know, because they never wanted me there to begin with. And then they try to say, you know, you're going to hire a mentor, some mediator or something to talk and help us try to work it out and all this. So I was like, oh my God, I can't even believe this place. They needed to just really move me from their area, and I didn't want to be around them. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't accommodate me. I didn't want to deal with this woman anymore, and I shouldn't have had to. There was just no hope anymore, and I just had to resign. One of the hardest things I had to do. But I know they forced me out. And I remember I even had called the Action Network, Alton McDonald, and he came and talked to this one black guy who worked there, and I don't remember what he did, but he was some diversity guy, and they were messing him around too. And I started to think no one was really going to help me. I know I couldn't find no attorney to sue them, because you can't sue the state. They can do whatever they want. So they basically sent me back to the 1800s. Back to poverty row. I had to go bankrupt. I never, ever recuperated.